So, Amy, I wanted to ask you about sort of what's happening with partners, the implications for retail partners in particular in this world that's becoming cookieless, where the mobile identifiers, or at least for Apple, are being greatly diminished. What's happening out there?
Sure. So it's interesting, and I think, one item to note is cookieless world was coming. COVID has given our retail partners much more power because they own the shopping ecosystem. So throughout COVID, with the increase in e-commerce, they now have a much stronger handle on consumers is part one. Therefore, they have a very strong handle on first party data. So when you think about a cookieless world and we think about our manufactured clients, so clients that sell things through these retail partners, they need to also have a better handle of their first party data in a cookieless world, but they also need to have new ways to extract that data or partner with the retailers to be able to understand how their core consumer is shopping within their ecosystem. So one of the new ways to partner is really to commingle in a privacy compliant way so that we can start to look for joint party data, joint party segments. So around how we're both growing retailer X as well as as well as the manufacturer. So when you start doing that, you're able to understand how to target more effectively. You have a much better handle on the first party data because it's feeding from the retailer, and it also will, in theory, create greater growth for both the brand as well as the retailer. The retailers have so much more power in a cookieless world because they understand they own their ecosystem. So they're becoming more of their own walled garden, and they have a very clear understanding of how their consumers shop and what they're looking for every day. So that creates a great opportunity for brands to reshape the way that they're partnering with them so that they have a better access to that as well.
So, what are the opportunities, outside of the direct use of data by the retailers to actually power ad decisioning? We hear that about Roundel. We hear it about CVS and others. What about sort of the data platforms of the retailers? What's the power
So the
there?
power is that, interestingly, Rondell, for example, not only do they have their own media for their own on-site, but they also have curated partners for off-site. And so you are able to find someone like let's say we want to find someone like myself on Pinterest, powered by the data that we have from Rondell, their understanding of their target shopper. So now I can find you in a moment that you're not necessarily in shopping mode and be able to send you a better message based on what you're searching on Pinterest. And then, of course, that allows us from a stronger targeting standpoint to be able to ultimately move someone from inspiration, like on Pinterest, all the way to a sale. That is the power of their data. So part of it, of course, is being more precise when someone is actually shopping in that CVS or Target or Walmart ecosystem. But it's equally more important because now we're able to find that person based on the date, what we know about them and what they're more likely to buy from an intent perspective, to deliver the right message to them and then move them down the funnel faster.
Amy, so tell us a little about what Publicis is doing. Your practice must be going crazy. E-commerce is exploding in so many ways, but as a media agency, what's your role in e-commerce and retail? Could you
Sure.
explain that?
Yes, we are very busy. E-commerce has expanded 5 years and 5 months. So interestingly, the behavior in the U.S. is mirroring what we saw in China after SARS. This was a clear accelerator for China in terms of e-commerce penetration. We're seeing that here. My role, I work with both the media agencies as well as our creative and digital business transformation agencies. Really, it's about helping clients understand how they either need to modify to keep up with the way consumers are now shopping, or to also understand how to guide our clients in terms of how they're investing to get the best outcomes when it comes to total commerce. So that means, how do I find a consumer and am I able to get them to buy in the retailer they want, on the marketplace that they want, or directly from a brand? And all of those things are what's required is a series of experiences to be able to intersect with consumers because everyone is shopping in multiple ways. So within the group, I work on focused on building out tools and technology as well as capability. so that we are baking those into the brands, our agency brands. And then, of course, focusing on upscaling our talent to be able to really keep up with the consumer. Many of our clients, as much as a transformation we've seen for e-commerce from a consumer behavior, their org structures have not caught up. So we need the right talent and specialists to be able to guide our clients in terms of how they can plan around being very consumer centric, where in this space it tends to be more siloed around how you might have had a sales relationship, or you also might have had more of a brand led relationship, and now consumers don't care, it's all one. So that's what we do from the center to work with our agency brands to be able to do that.
And Amy, I wanted to ask how you see I'm sure you're getting questions about the holiday season, a lot of shopping coming up. What do you expect to see from commerce for the holiday season? And maybe we don't know really what's ahead with the pandemic, but some trends you're seeing in terms of e-commerce ahead.
You know, like the theme of 2020, we just don't know what's ahead of us, which I think we're continuing to talk to our clients quite a bit about. All the things that we know to be true have changed. So, for example, Thanksgiving typically kicks off with Black Friday, followed up by Cyber Monday. What we already have seen is that Prime Day, which happened in middle of October, kicked off the entire holiday planning season. So consumers are basically shopping early and often, and they're wanting to constantly look for deals, and the deals are out there. So some of the traditional constructs we usually plan for, we are not necessarily focused on because they're not going to be happening. For example, traditionally there's some doorbuster, and even the idea of a doorbuster that drove traffic into a brick and mortar store, those things are not happening, or if they are dependent upon the retailer having contactless delivery, curbside pickup, et cetera, to be able to fill those. We're also talking with our clients about the importance of maintaining their supply chain and actually ability to deliver. Again, our systems have been somewhat dependent upon in-store sales, in-store pickup. So in a world where consumers, even older segments, have been trained on being able to buy online whatever they want, we're not necessarily ready for the capacity from a shipping perspective. So that's really important that they are managing and every day looking at how we're handling from an inventory perspective. Because of course, if you don't have a great customer experience standpoint, you're going to lose that consumer forever. And then finally, everything is different. So when you think about some of our food clients and Thanksgiving, and when you start removing travel, the traditional travel you might go to your parents or go back with family and friends, that may not be happening. So we are also, from a content perspective, preparing our brands to basically be a big enabler, meaning this might be someone's first Thanksgiving. So if you're a food client, how are you actually helping someone make their first turkey 10 years earlier than they may have been prepared to? Also, we saw quite a bit of comfort food be part of what I'll call COVID hoarding. So the dishes that might be served for holidays, like stuffing, for example, may not be what people actually are wanting to do when they do their own holiday. So how are you using social, especially social commerce, to be able to inspire some of the younger segments on, how you can support them for the ways that they want to plan for their holidays?